Hello and welcome to the EMTV Social. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by John McGilvery as we talk all things Monarchs and look ahead to another big Cab Direct Championship match against the Scunthorpe Scorpions. John, I feel like a guest myself. I feel like an imposter. It's been a good few weeks since I've been in the chair for one of these, but there's been plenty going on and plenty to come.
Yeah, I'm glad you introduced yourself at the start there. I'd forgotten who you were. There has been plenty going on. Obviously, the defeat at Redcar, again, so close, and yet so far the last couple of heats, a bit like the one a few weeks ago at Oxford when we're in it, and then heat 13, 14, 15 just didn't happen for us. We're 2 points down with 3 to go, and the 8 points, I'm not going to lie, I watched the Scotland game and missed it. I just watched the live updates, but it may be flattered Redcar when you're 2 points behind and there's plenty in it. So, there's been plenty happening, and you look at this week, it doesn't seem to get any easier, does it? We've had Poole there, we've had Oxford there, the Plymouth came and gave us a run for our money, and then this week, the Scorpions, who, at the time of recording, before tonight, are top of the league. So, yeah, the games just don't get any easier.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's the home form's picked up. That Plymouth one is just like a night where everything that could go wrong did. But of course, Josh crashed out, and people say, yeah, IRR got you 6 points, but he's not available for a tacky ride or heat 15. Yeah. Lassie was missing, and Sam Hagan tried his heart out, but Sam at Armadale wasn't as good a ride as Lassie. And then, of course, we had Max James missing as well. Great news on that it's been Max has declared himself fit. Those 17-year-old ribs must heal a bit quicker than it would if I ever cracked a rib or something. I think I'd be out for about 3 months. But great to see, and great for the Monarchs to get their own 1 to 7 back on track.
Yeah, it'd be good to get all 7 riders back again. And it seems like, I think I've said this before on here, that you forget we were interviewing him a few weeks ago, and you forget at the time you're like 16 years old. And you think, he seems to be quite mature, he's well-spoken, he comes across really well, so there's lots to get excited about. And ultimately, which is what we care about, he's bloody good on a speedway bike. So it's good to see him back in his slot there as well. Hopefully we've got a full 1 to 7 this weekend. It'd be good to have him back. Josh, just incredible as well the other week there. So no, hopefully we can click this week and give Scunthorpe a bit of a hiding and get ourselves climbing up the table, because I saw the league table there. I think Poole, it was posted earlier. It might have been British Speedway themselves, and we were languishing at the bottom with 2 points. So it's important that we start getting some home points and get ourselves up that table.
Yeah, and of course we haven't been on as a kind of social or kind of an abbreviated Friday focus since that win over Oxford, and I think that needs a wee bit of reflection. What a meeting, what an end. That's speedway perfection, isn't it? The old saying used to be happiness is 40-38. I guess now it's 46-44. I mean, you get a last to first blast from Pickering beating Nichols and Masters. What a night that was.
I mean, it was just incredible, and there was a good picture in the tower from behind us where 3 of the guys were celebrating. Liam's celebrating. It might not look like I am, but trust me, I was just getting my head thinking, what am I going to say here at the end of this? And I think if you were there and you saw how I reacted after it, it was just incredible. It looked. I think Justin wanted them to team ride, but it was one of them, just go and make sure we get the points so we can get the win. So it was just a phenomenal ride from Josh. I mean, to go from, like you say, pretty much last to first was unbelievable. He thoroughly deserved his Monarch of the match, and the guy's worth the entrance fee alone.
Yeah, we've got the Sedgy swear jar, as we call it, for the social. I forget what's in the rule books. How much would you have been fined if you'd used some of the words you wanted to use after that E50?
Oh, honestly, it takes me sometimes when you, mostly after some of the referees' decisions, right enough, but
that's a Falkirk fan in you, John.
There's no doubt about that. Colourful language at the Falkirk Stadium, but no, it takes you sometimes, but you just actually, and I think that's why I'm standing there, because I'm actually lost for words here, because that's just incredible what he's done there. So you would want to drop the Justin Sedgman F-bomb from time to time, but it's a family show. We absolutely can't do that. But it's just, it doesn't matter how many times you watch Josh. He just never. It's almost like it's not a surprise anymore. He does what he does, and you go, it's just Josh doing Josh things, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that the pass he put on Scotty Nichols earlier in the match would be 80% of the riders in the league's race of the season. Yeah. And it probably was Josh's third best ride of the night. That's kind of the calibre and what we've come used to. And it's such a pleasure to watch. And we'll be hoping for more of the same on Friday. So we need to make Armadale a fortress. Yes, away points are vital for the playoffs, but let's be honest, one more away defeat and you're facing the barrel of a gun with only being the top four. And as you mentioned, Scunthorpe, I'll be honest, I thought they'd regress a little bit this season, losing Ryan Douglas. We know what it's like at the Monarchs to lose your talisman, who's the best rider in the league, as Ryan was last year. But they've not missed a beat. As you say, top of the league as we stand, semi-finals of both competitions, and coming to a track that I'm pretty sure they put 50 plus on both times they visited last year, with four of the seven riders that were in that team are a former Monarch and guessing at reserve Mickey Sim. An old.
Sorry, you'll break up a wee bit there, Graham.
Just say, John, it doesn't get any easier. You look down the Scunthorpe team. I thought they'd take a blip when Ryan Douglas moved on, but they've seamlessly kept it going, and they come to Armadale with some pedigree.
Yeah, they really do. And I'm just looking at some of the comments there. And I think it is important, the comment there from Chris about Paco as well. We've waxed a wee bit lyrical there. John's right, toughest home match coming up. But then, we said that about Oxford. We've said it about Poole coming up as well. Paco, Chris is right. Paco, his form this season, been incredible. We took a bit of stick. I think it was Liam that said it, but it was in our script. A bit of an inconsistent Paco. I think it's not maybe not inconsistency, and that maybe is the wrong word, but you just know when he's good, he's very, very good. And I think we just feel that we maybe are a bit are our hopes too high, are our expectations rather too high? Do we expect too much for the big man week in, week out? Because I watch him every week. He comes up to tower, his heart's on his sleeve. And if anyone says to me he's given any less than 100%, I will call you a liar to your face, because he does give it every single time. But to see him scoring what he's scoring, he's been consistent now. So I think we can put that to bed. He's been very good. Maybe the captaincy's just been the thing that's needed to make him click, because there's no doubt about it. When you watch him, Josh the other week, when he wasn't racing, was brilliant in and around the pits. As soon as someone came in, he was down, wee bit of advice, do this, don't do that, try this, try that. But Paco's just there, lifting all the guys, getting the spirits up, and getting the best that he can from probably a personal level and an enthusiasm level. So there's definitely no doubting that Paco, his form has been incredible. And we can't forget about him.
Yeah, I think that for me, that's one of the major differences, isn't it, from 12 months ago, and results help that. Winning home matches and getting close results on the road and wins at places like Ashfield, lest we forget, help build that. But I look at that squad, and it is a squad in the pits. It's not 7 riders and 7 mechanics. You've got, and it was Mitchell Davey, I think, was in Paco's corner, certainly the last home match. I don't know if it has been a few others. As you mentioned, Josh, when he was out, was there. Everyone's around and helping. Justin's fitted back into the team seamlessly, and he admits himself he's maybe no one for the rah-rah and that kind of stuff, but really enjoying it, and being part of that. We've seen Max come in and join it. Everyone is enjoying being there. and that makes a difference. Even little things like after the Oxford match, by the time I got to the bar, a couple of the Monarchs were leaving, but I think all 7 Monarchs from the night and 2 or 3 of the Oxford riders certainly were in the bar, and that just helps up spirit. It builds back up in the stadium with the fans. Everything's just moving back in the right direction. And if we get served classics like we did against Oxford, and I even think back to the Berwick match at the start of the season, which would probably be the top 5 or 10 Armadale matches of the last 5 years as well, then long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely. The feel-good factor's definitely back. Last season was a tough season for everybody. We didn't enjoy a lot of what we were seeing. And one thing that, when we've been interviewing riders and things, no one's talking about the track. And I mean that in a positive. No one's saying, oh, it's this or it's that. And you talk to the riders, how's it? Because we'll just say they come up, how is it? Yeah, it's good. And they don't mention it. So, Gordon should certainly take that as a positive. That they're not going, oh, it's this, it's that, or the track's this, or and then maybe they don't want to say anything, but they're bitching about it. Maybe not this season. This season they're just like, no, this is good. We're enjoying this. So I think that definitely has to be a massive plus. Yeah,
and we've mentioned there how good the team spirit is. There's always somebody that can bring down spirit anywhere he goes. We've got a comment for Kieran Lydon.
I think he's full of spirit everywhere he goes.
But it's not very much John when it's not David. So basically what he's saying there, John, is you're the consistent here and the rest of us need to up our game. But of course,
I wouldn't mind swapping places with Dave Harley just now because Cologne looks absolutely bouncing.
Yeah, I've got another few mates over there as well, and it doesn't look half good. Although you're right, 5-1s are definitely not what we want, whether it be the football or 15 on Friday night.
That was a
But just to give a little shout out to Kieran. I know Kieran had a big off at Redcar last week after the match in the Northern Junior League or in the second half, and pretty much mangled his bike. So anyone, we're not here to put the begging bowl out, but anyone that feels they can give Kieran a hand, we all know how infectious he is round the pits and round the club. He comes up to Monarchs matches even when he's not riding. Every week he threatens to come on the stream with us, and every week he bottles it when it finally gets to me putting him on the spot. So one of these times I'm going to force him on. But have a little look on the sort of fans' Facebook if you want to kind of get involved in that. But John, touching it a few times, Friday night, absolutely massive. This is the bit where Dave would normally be pressing the buttons to bring all the links up. So excuse me while I have a look here. There we go. I found it now. Get your tickets now. edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/tickets. If you can't make it along, then it'll be myself and John Clements in the commentary booth for the stream, which is www.edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/EMTV. Mike Hunter is fully fit, but just been a little bit careful. I'm not saying too much for Mike, but I think there's a medical procedure coming up, and he got COVID last week, and he doesn't want to risk anything postponing that again. So, Mike, all the best with all that, and we'll see you back in what is your chair very soon. But John, I think we can probably call it a night at that. We've spoken all. We've got how long have we got? We've got about an hour and 15 minutes now until Scotland reclaim their bit at the head of that football table against Switzerland, who are no mean feat, but it can't be any worse than Friday.
I'm used to John McGlynn and his Invincibles this season, so I didn't know what it was until sort of Friday night. Oh, what's this? But no, I'm just sorry, but just before we go, there is a couple of comments there. Ian had said about a couple of kids that we had to mention. I think it was their first time at the Speedway there, so it was great to have them up. I know it was a special night for them, so if anyone is ever looking for mentions, and Liam says shout outs back, I hate that phrase, shout outs. If you're looking for a mention or anything like that at the Speedway, give us a wee shout. We're happy to welcome anyone along. And Ryan there, he genuinely believes our top three is as good as any in the league with Josh, Sedgy and Paco, and it's kind of hard to disagree with him. Sedgy's gating is phenomenal just now, absolutely phenomenal. He can certainly get to the first corner first. He proved that a couple of Fridays ago, and holding guys off once he gets to the front. If we can get the other four to give a few extra points, then brilliant. And Kieran Lydon says he'll run away, so we've got that in writing, Graham. That's handy.
Yeah. Well, John, thank you very much
for
joining. Until Friday, when you'll be back in the tower, I'll be back in the commentary box. As always, thanks very much for watching, and good night.